some of the answers, or here's some of the answers, Joni. What are people typing
Following up, question mark, finding cheaper pricing online. It's more affordable to book
in?
direct. Mailing, marketing, thinking they can get it cheaper online. That's kind of
Mm-hmm.
ghosting.
So what did you say?
Ghosting.
Yeah, ghosting is true. And that's how they are not loyal to you. That's not because they're not loyal. That's just how they show you. So that is usually most people's philosophy or thoughts, that people go somewhere else because they could get a better price from somebody else, or maybe they don't like you or what have you. I'm here to tell you, I'm getting ready to burst your bubble. The reason why folks are not loyal to you, 68% of the survey results, why customers stop using your service, is because they believe you don't care about them. That's it. Believe it. 68% believe you just don't care. Now, 14% were just dissatisfied with your service. And you know what? That happens. I know I've stopped going to certain restaurants or what have you because I wasn't happy with their service. According to this survey, 9% were persuaded to go to a competitor, right? So in our case, in the travel industry, maybe they had talked to you, but then their next door neighbor said, oh no, you've got to go to somebody, use my travel advisor. They're way better, right? 5% said they provided, their customer gets a friend to provide the service, or they do it themselves in our case. 3%, the customers move away. That's not really applicable to you. And 1%, I don't even know how this happens, but 1% of the reason why people chose not to use your service anymore is because they died. I don't even know how it's a percentage. If you're dead, how does anybody use your service? So anyhow, the thing that I really want to really highlight here is this is the part that really disappoints most, because they realize how easy it is to achieve loyalty. And it really comes from your customers feeling that you care about them. And today I'm going to kind of go over how the different facets of what it means to show someone that you care about them, right? We're going to talk about when and how do we know that we feel somebody cares about us. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to boil down to two key words: connections and confidence. Connections and confidence. So here are some foundational truths. Write these down, or take a picture or a screenshot, but write these down. These are the foundational truths when it comes to loyalty. First off, would you agree or disagree? Business longevity relies on loyalty. I mean, would you agree to that, Joni?
I would, absolutely.
Absolutely. And your business stays in business longer as you have more and more loyal clients, right? Because now you're not having to get new clients every 5 minutes. You're able to rely on the clients that you have already. Loyalty is achieved through a real and ongoing connection, and that is very key. That's probably the most important sentence in this entire presentation. Loyalty is achieved through a real and ongoing connection. Now, connection happens a variety of different ways, but one of the first ways that it happens is when a connection happens when one or both of you say, yeah, you get me. Like, you totally get me. Now we've made a connection, right? You see it all the time. If you love puppy dogs and you're talking to someone and they love puppy dogs, and then you find out they have a basset hound just like you, but bam, you get me. You understand the slobbering and how to take care of the basset hound. Like, you get me. You understand where I'm coming from. So true connection, you have to achieve that you get me status. And I'm going to tell you how to do that in a minute. And then confidence. Remember I told you it was connection and confidence? Well, confidence is achieved through consistency, and I'm going to talk more about that. And then bottom line, we are all motivated to be part of a story, not only ours, but theirs as well. We are motivated to be part of a story, yours and ours, and that's very important as well. So we're going to kind of dive deep into all of those. First off, is anybody challenging me on what I just said? Like, they don't believe it. They believe it's just price. Anybody?
Nobody has yet. Nope.
And I dare them to. No, I'm just joking.
I won't tell you.
No, I'm joking. So let's start with the first one. Long-term loyalty is achieved through a real and ongoing connection. Okay. Now let's break this down a little bit. I want to tell you a little story about loyalty. So this is a story about a husband and wife, myself and my sweet husband, Randy Lee. We've been together almost 30 years. That's us They're in the upper left-hand corner. I'm not sure how they see it, but it's the upper. It's the cute couple. That's us. That's my husband and
It
I.
is definitely.
And down below is Susan. Isn't it cute? And down below to the right, you're going to see a beautiful woman, Susan Foulbarg. Susan Foulbarg is a realtor that my husband and I have known for years. As a matter of fact, Susan helped us buy our first home. She helped us sell our first home, and she helped us buy our second home. Susan and I are friends. Susan has been to our house many times. We know each other's children. We're friends on Facebook. Susan's a fantastic realtor. I refer Susan to everybody that I know. She's professional. She's just got it all together. Anytime I needed something, I could always rely on Susan. And you know, unlike travel, when it comes to buying and selling a home and utilizing the services of your realtor, you don't do that often, right? So in this case, Susan decided to try to stay in touch through, you know, she had like one of those systems where she must have paid someone to send me like a card all the time. So like every birthday, New Year's, the anniversary of our home, Valentine's Day, the holidays, we knew we were going to get a card in the mail from Susan, not handwritten, but hand signed. And she always plopped 2 business cards in there, which I always thought was kind of weird. Why are you sending me a business card when we're friends? So I want you to think about that for a minute. But she stayed in front of me, right? And so often advisors say, I've done business with somebody and I'm staying in front of them. They receive my newsletter. I comment on Facebook, or they know who I am. They see me at church, whatever. They're automatically, that equates to loyalty. Well, I'm here to tell you, not necessarily. So I told you she helped us buy our first home, sell it, and buy our second home. And then when we got ready to sell our second home, we picked up the phone and we called Laura Lee Wood. Now, why didn't we call our good friend Susan, who had kept in touch with us? Well, I'm going to tell you the reason why. It wasn't that Susan had done a bad job. She had done a great job. And as a matter of fact, I ran into her a little bit later on after we had listed our house with Laura Lee, and I was like, oh, I totally forgot to call you. Randy and I are selling our home. So why did I not call Susan? She'd done a great job. She had stayed, quote unquote, in touch with me. We had seen each other on Facebook. You know why? Laura Lee, who I had not known as long, but lived in the neighborhood. I saw Laura Lee all the time at community events. I don't know if you can see my cursor. Can you see my cursor?
Yes,
by
I
chance?
can. Yeah.
Oh, fabulous. I always love that. It's so much fun doing things in Canva. Anyways, I would see her at community events. She also stayed in touch with everybody in the neighborhood by sending those postcards. You know how realtors send those postcards? Here are the homes that have sold in your area recently. The average, here's homes that I have on the market. Have you ever gotten those before, Joni?
Absolutely. Yep.
Right. So when she communicated with us, it was with information that was going to help me, right? As much as I loved Susan and getting the cards, getting 2 business cards in a happy birthday card just didn't feel authentic, and it didn't feel truly connected. Didn't think about it at the time, but that's exactly what it was. Susan took herself from the connection, loyalty, friendship stage and put me in a database that received a card 6 times a year with business cards in there, which told me she wasn't doing it. She actually had hired someone to do it, which told me we didn't have a real business connection, even though she had done a great job. Laura Lee, conversely, she had never sold or bought anything for us ever. I'd never done any business with her, but I saw her around. I knew she knew the community. The things that I learned about Laura Lee, to me, in my mind, were those are the values, the things that I would need when my husband and I go to sell our home. So Laura Lee got the business. A true connection is a true connection. It doesn't necessarily mean a BFF. It means that you are actually providing something to somebody else that allows them to see that you care about them and what's important to them. And even though it was a postcard, I still saw that she cared about my community. I still saw that she was active in my community. I still saw that she knew the real estate market in my community. And that's the reason why I thought of Laura Lee first. All right. The second, and this is all going to come together, it's going to make a total sense. The second way to connection happens when you get to say, you get me, or they get me. And the way we do this, and I know Joni knows exactly what I'm getting ready to talk about for just a few minutes, is by understanding the 4 basic personality types and being able to connect with these individuals at their actual core motivators. So, first off, has anyone heard my personality selling bulls, owls, lambs, and tigers? Go ahead and type that in if you've heard this, because I'm going to give you just a brief overview, not dive deep, because I do have a webinar resource to share afterwards. So Joni, tell me what they're saying.
A couple yeses and a couple nos. Yes, no. So kind of a mixed bag. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, good. Oh, I love it. Okay, good. I'm going to spend a few minutes on this, actually more than a few minutes on this, because it's so important. Let me set the stage. In general, we all have core personalities. And actually, I'm going to say we have personality motivators. In other words, there are parts, we all come to a yes, or we're all motivated differently to come to a yes or to make a decision based on our core personality. I'm going to review these 4 different kind of generic personalities. Now, if anyone's taken DISC, D-I-S-C, it's the same thing, only it's a lot more fun to talk about as opposed to dominant and intuitive, and nobody can remember the rest of them anyway. And we tend to have 2 of these 4, and they're usually pretty complementary to one another. And why I think this is important for you to understand is in the selling process, selling process, step 1 is develop rapport and gain trust. And you develop rapport when you're able to make a connection, right? And the best way to develop rapport with someone is to speak at their language. Jenny, have you ever heard that saying, what's it called? The golden rule? Provide service as if it was for yourself. What's it called? Do you know what I'm talking about? The golden rule and the
I do,
rule?
but my brain isn't remembering.
That's okay. Golden rule, treat others as you wish, treat others as you wish to, you would be treated yourself.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yes. Yeah. And then does anybody know what the diamond rule is? I bet they don't.
Nobody's writing it in.
Rule, right, because they're feverishly writing and wondering what the heck Jenn Lee is going to say next with the diamond rule. The diamond rule is treat others as they wish to be treated. See, the golden rule says treat others as you would want to be treated. But in reality, that's not the case, because what if you have a low self-esteem? You want to treat others with a low self-esteem? You know, what if you have completely different values, a value set, core set? Do you want to treat others with different values? No. The diamond rule is that you're going to treat others as they wish to be treated. So let's take this back to the personality motivators. People connect with others that speak their language, right? And we're able to have a full flowing conversation when we speak the same language. If we both speak English and that's the only language we speak, we do great. If one only speaks Spanish and the other one speaks English, as much as we try and we use hand gestures, if you're Italian, it's hard to communicate this versus, and essentially it means it's hard to connect. Okay, so the 4 personality motivators are bulls, owls, lambs, and tigers. Now, bulls are very straightforward, to the point, get to the bottom line. They usually tend to interrupt you while you're talking. That prestige, do it for me. They are what you may refer to as a diva, or not a bully, because that doesn't mean they're mean. It just means they're like, nope, that's not what I want. Here's what I want. Bulls are very hard charging personalities. Everybody think of somebody that in your life is a bull. They walk in the room, you can't help but notice them. They shake your hand, they squeeze your hand. They're a bull. Go ahead and type in a name of someone that you know, or it's my aunt, my uncle, my husband, my sister, my brother, my teacher, my boss, whoever. Bulls. Owls are very
There's
much
some good
like
ones here. Enrique says my wife.
Yeah. I'm sure, Enrique. And Enrique, I bet you're probably an owl or a lamb or a combination of the 2. Because if you're happily married, you have to be the opposite. That's my personal opinion. I don't know if that's actually been proven, but that's my personal opinion. So bulls are to the point, straightforward, right? Owls, conversely, they don't make decisions very quickly. Any decision, they have to really fully investigate. They have to fully research. They can't make a decision until they have fully researched it, that they've they've, looked over reviews. Right now, we're shopping for a new car. My husband's all over Consumer Reports. He's watching YouTube videos. I already know the car that I want. Being a bull, I really, if I didn't, care and respect for my husband, I would have already bought it. But I love my husband, so I let him go through that process. The motivator with bulls, the motivator with owls, this is very important, is they never want to make a mistake. Their biggest fear in life is that they're going to make a mistake. Okay. Where with a bull, it's usually your fault anyway, right? So they don't ever take, responsibility for the most part. I'm being very generic and a little overzealous with some of this, but their motivator is, don't let me make a mistake and give me all the information. I want to know everything. The owl, they're the ones that have sent you an email. We're looking at 17 different places that we'd like to visit over the next 24 months. Please find attached an Excel spreadsheet that I've narrowed down to the 34 places per location that I'd like for you to take a look at. I'd like an itemized list of every single inside cabin, balcony, suites, values. They want you to put together an entire Excel spreadsheet. Start laughing, because I know people are laughing right now. And you, my friend, as a travel advisor, may be an owl, thinking that you need to give all the information to somebody before they can make a decision. And if you do that to a bull, they're bored, they're hung up on you, they're ghosting you, they're booking it themselves. So bulls, owls. Now let's talk about our lambs and our tigers. By the way, Joni, ask them to type in how many of them are owls, and they now understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because if they're not an owl, it's a strong chance. Yeah, it's probably overwhelming. Okay. I find that excellent travel advisors, okay, yeah, they're kind of ashamed, and they shouldn't be. Yeah. Excellent travel advisors have to be owls. Yeah.
They're honing in on the honesty. Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to fight a few.
And I'm going to bring this back to loyalty. I promise you guys, because this is about connection. Right? They have to be able to say, great, he gets me, she gets me. Okay. So I've told you about the bulls. Now you've learned about the owls. Let's talk about the lambs. Most other advisors that I know are lambs, because they actually care about people. As a matter of fact, a lamb's main motivator for making a decision is to make sure that you, or they and you together as their partner, are taking care of other people that are important to them. It does not do any good during the sales process talking to a lamb to say, you deserve it, you've earned it, this will be great for you. They don't care about themselves, and I don't mean that derogatory. They're more motivated by making sure others are taken care of, right? So if you are a bull personality as an advisor, where prestige and status are really important to you, right? Where it's like, hey, this is the latest and the greatest, all the TV stars have gone to this resort. Did you see, Real Housewives of Potomac went to this particular all-inclusive? A lamb would be completely turned off by that, even if they do watch Real Housewives of Potomac, right? They're turned off because you're talking to them about them. Lambs want you to talk to them about the other people in their lives that are important. Okay. Lambs, poor lamb advisors, they are the ones that get ghosted most of the time. Okay. They are also the ones where you've had tell me if you've seen this, you've had a great conversation with someone, 4 or 5 phone calls, quotes back and forth. You're feeling like, wow, this is going somewhere. This is amazing, right? They do that. And then all of a sudden, all the follow-up, oh, didn't get a chance to talk to my spouse, or, oh, you know what, my son hurt his knee during soccer, I've got to call you back, oh, this, oh, that. They ghost you in a very polite way, and then they never commit. Lambs are the hardest to sell to, but they're also the kindest human beings you're ever going to meet. At the same time, that for you to connect with them, understanding that it's not about them and it's not about you, it's about the others in their lives. All right. Tigers, the last group is, I'm a bull tiger, to give you an example. Straightforward, to the point. I'm a little ADD. I make a lot of noise when I walk into the room. I wear big red lipstick. That doesn't mean tiger men wear lipstick necessarily, but like flashy colors. Tigers like to have fun. social is really important. Let's have fun. Tigers need you to handle them. Actually, even using the word, don't worry, I got you, girlfriend. And you got to think Valley Girl when you're talking to them, but don't talk Valley Girl. But I got it. Don't worry about it. You go on with your bad self. I need that credit card number. Call me when you have a second. Why don't you pull over right now from the car? Give me the credit card number. I'm going to send you an authorization form. Who there will print it out and hand it to you for you to sign? They need handlers. Tigers have no idea where they're going. They don't know when they're going. They didn't know they asked to go, but they're excited to get there, okay? Details mean nothing to tigers. Okay, so what the heck does this have to mean? What does this have to do with connection? And more importantly, loyalty. This is your first and best chance for you to achieve the they get me status. If when you're talking to somebody on the phone or you're meeting them face to face, you're able to quickly identify their core motivator, a bull, an owl, a lamb, or a tiger, you're going to adjust ever so slightly your pace, your tone, your verbiage. You and your mind are going bull, ding, 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 ding. With a bull, you want to use words like, oh yeah, this resort just opened, like nobody's been to it. Oh, they want to be the first ones there. So do tigers. Tigers are like, yes, I can't wait. How many free drinks do we get, right? So when you recognize those two and you are an owl or a lamb, you immediately ask for the credit card. I mean, like that is a sale right there. I'm going to get you there. It's the best. It is the most exclusive. Just think, and I have a whole webinar on this, so I'm not going to spend much more time on it, but making the connection from the very get-go. What do they say, Jenny? What's that saying? You only have 7 seconds to make no, you only have one chance to make a good first impression.
Yep.
You ever heard that before?
Yep.
Well, your first chance is understanding and quickly identifying what type of personality you're talking to, and understand the diamond rule. They want to be spoken to and treated the way they want to be treated. See what happens, we mess up about 75% of all of our connection opportunities because we have processes. And what I'm finding is a good portion of the advisors are owls and lambs. That's a good thing. We need you to be detail oriented because there's a lot of details on this job. And lamb, you need to have a lamb personality because you need to be about the other person. That's what you're doing. You're their advisor. However, good business people sometimes have to also be bulls and tigers. They're just a lot of fun. So let's just kick them off. Bulls, to the point. So you have to adjust your personality so that they go, good, she gets me. I don't want to handle the details. When someone says to me, and any type of business transaction or even friendship transaction, hey, look that up and send it over to me when you get a chance. If it's a business transaction, they've lost the sale with me already. I'm the type that I just need you to do it for me. Here's what I want to do. Here's how much I want to pay, or whatever that is. I just interviewed a firm, a PR firm, and the guy's like, well, here's our process. And he starts, well, I'm like, I don't need all that. This is what I need. So he then realized, oh, shoot, this is not a sales pitch. This is someone who will hire me if I say the right thing. And he still didn't, even though I said to him, I don't want all that. Don't even tell me about that. That doesn't make any difference to me. They lost the sale. Right? But a person who goes, I get it. I can tell your personality. You're going to be amazing. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you an email. It's going to have 7 bullet points. I just need you to read over that. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Can you talk again? Yes, I can. Done. They would have had the sale because a bull and a tiger just want you to take care of it for them. So when you get that connection and you understand it, you are golden. Okay, I spent a lot of time on that. Any questions about that? I'm talking really fast, Joni, as I usually do.
Okay, we're getting it. We're getting it.
Okay, here we go. The next, I'm taking a breath. I know. So wait, why is this going backwards? Here we go. Confidence is the next one. Confidence is achieved through consistency. Let's think about the brands that you are loyal to. If they stay consistent, you have confidence in their services. I want everyone to think about a brand that they like right now. I mean, I've got like 10 of them in my head. Joni, what's a brand that you really like? And y'all type in so Joni can share with me. What's a brand that you really like?
I hate to admit that I like it because I hate their price keeps going up with Starbucks. It's terrible. Okay.
I know.
Oh, yeah, I have to agree with Chip. Chip says on the waterways. Yeah, absolutely. RCCL, Delta.
Mm-hmm.
HEB, I'm not sure what that is. Four Seasons,
Mm-hmm.
Delta,
Mm-hmm.
another Delta. Love Alma.
Delta
Yep.
Pro.
Grocery
Mm-hmm. I
store.
love Alma
Which
too.
grocery store? You mean it? Which one? There's more than one grocery store. Alma. Oh, Alma is
Yeah.
really doing well. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And okay, so
Princess
let's break that down. We feel confident, you as a travel advisor, right? Feel confident in recommending that product, AMA, Delta, all the other ones that people did, because of its consistency, the consistency of the brand, and I'm going to talk about in a second. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just go right to it. They meet the brand promise, right? So they're consistent with their brand. They're consistent with the employees, the type of employees that they hire. Their ships are consistently clean. You know, the feeling is going to be similar, even if the upholstery changes, the feeling that you're going to get is going to be similar. From an advisor standpoint, probably every BDM that you work with is probably consistent across the board. There's consistency. And a lot of that consistency comes from the brand promise. And the brand promise, I want you to answer this question and write this down, guys, is how do you want others to see you, right? So Alma's brand is pretty strong, pretty rock solid strong. It's love. We all know that, right? I bet you all were just doing your little hands and the sign of a heart and everything, because that's their brand promise. If they wanted you to see them as love, then everything needs to be consistent with that love. We love our employees. We love the countries that we go to. We love the clients that you send us. We love you being an advisor. Everything they do comes around love, because that's their brand promise. So it's important for you to have a brand promise. My brand promise that I have with every human being that comes into, unfortunately, my path, is that you're always going to know where you stand with me. And Joni, I know you can speak to this. You've known me for many years. I'm always direct, clear, timely, but have kindness in my heart. It's my
Yep.
promise to every
That's why I
person,
love you.
right? I know, you know what you're going to get. I'm never going to beat around the bush, but that's my personality. That's my brand. So there's comfortability when you are working with a brand that everything about them oozes that brand promise. If I said I'm a really straightforward, no holds barred individual, but I have a website that's got pastel colors on it and a lot of weak words, well, that breaks the brand promise, right? If I never answer the question like a politician, right? You ask a politician a question, they never really answer it, right? I've broken my brand promise of being direct and clear, right? As a leader, if I'm not timely in the way I provide feedback and very clear in the way I do it, then I've broken my brand promise. So you, as an advisor and agency owner, I want you to write down, how do you want others to see you? What's your brand promise? And then are you proving them right or are you proving them wrong? Look at your processes, how you interact, the products you represent, who you serve as an expert. I'll give you an example. If you say, oh yeah, I focus on luxury, but your website is a hot mess express, you're using fonts like that Crayola font, that's not luxury. If you're saying, I'm going to walk you every step of the way through this process, holding your hand, I'm that guide, but yet you forgot to send an email for the credit card authorization, and 4 days later the terms and conditions come, oh, and you sent the wrong quote over, well, you're proving them wrong. You're proving yourself wrong. So whatever your brand promise is, take a look at everything that's forward facing from a process standpoint. We'll go back to Susan. She cared about me. She loved me. She was extremely professional. Where she broke her brand promise was the only interaction that I had from her from a professional standpoint were 6 cards a year with business cards in there. That didn't say she cared about me and got me. So I would say this brand promise is something that's really missed along the way. So pay attention to that. Consistency creates the confidence and comfortability, which equates to loyalty. Even if you mess up, the consistency in the way you handle things, the way you approach things, that is what allows people to feel comfortable within a brand. And that's what creates loyalty, or one of the many things. All right. Get a drink of water for a second. Okay, I haven't shown this for a while. Wow, does that show up as fuzzy as it looks to me, or am I losing my eyesight? That's fuzzy
No,
over
I
there.
think it
Okay,
is kind of fuzzy, just a little.
it's fuzzy. Just a little. Sorry about this, guys. I want you to
It's
Google it.
Margarita
Apologies.
Day. It's National Margarita Day. That's why it's fuzzy.
Well, then why am I not drinking a margarita right now?
I
Which
don't
is
know.
also part of my
Me
brand
either.
promise. Okay, so guys, I can't talk enough positive things about this book and this gentleman, Donald Miller, the creator of Building a Story brand. And I'll bring this back to loyalty in just a moment. But that should be a resource that you download on your Kindle or whatever. I'm a book girl. I ordered it from Amazon and read it, earmarked it, highlighted it, of course, because I'm a tiger. That's what tigers do. And so I'm going to give you some insight. Remember, I was talking about consistency before? And also confidence. It's really about confidence. Part of loyalty to a brand is that someone feels confident that they're in good hands, right? That they feel like someone is going to guide them through that really, unknown territory. And in travel, especially with the way we want consumers to travel, which is not just go to a hotel or an Airbnb for a weekend. We want them to really travel. We want them to immerse themselves in where they're going. We know that's good for humankind, right? When people get outside of their neighborhood, even if they don't leave the country, get outside of the neighborhood and go visit what is a mountain, right? How do mountain people live, right? I want to understand what the Midwesterner, how they see life versus me in Florida in the Southeast, right? So to do that, you have to position yourself as the guide. And because this is fuzzy, I'm gonna share this brand formula to you. It's called the story formula. In every movie, and we're going to ruin every movie for you, but you're going to understand this. In every story, there's always a character, right? Always a character, and that character has some sort of challenge, has a need of some sort. That character's got this problem, has a need, doesn't know what to do. I want to go to Alaska. I don't know how to do it. And boom, they meet a guide. In every story, there's a character who has a problem who meets a guide, someone who actually can solve that problem or motivate them to solve that problem. Most of the time, that guide gives them a plan. If you do this, then this will happen positively, right? A guide is also someone not only giving them a plan, but calls them to action. They challenge them to do it. They dare them to do it. They give them the confidence to do them. They help them along the way. I want you to think about Hitch, that movie Hitch. This is a perfect example. The character was the, oh my God, the King of Queens guy, Kevin. Oh, I can't think of his name. Gosh darn it. Anyways, he was the character. He had a problem. He didn't know how to get women, and he was in love with the one woman. And he met a guy who was Will Smith, Hitch, who gave him a plan. Here are the things that you do, call them to action. And once we call them to action, it's either going to help them end success or help them avoid failure. Now, let's go back to y'all. I want you to think about yourself as being the guide, because people want you to guide them. They're actually desperate for someone to give them the information and to guide them step by step through a process they don't know enough about. So in the beginning, to have that brand loyalty based on the different personality, a bull, it's to the point. I'm going to take care of everything. What's your American Express? The owl, I'm going to have 27-step process. You're going to get an email every day with a DocuSign. They'll just get high over that. A lamb, I'm going to take great care of your family. Your friends are going to be well taken care of. I'm going to, return calls in a timely manner. And a tiger, all they want to know is, yes, I will make sure you get to the airport, and yes, somebody will be there to pick you up. So you can see where the 4 personalities are so important. So they want you to guide them. So in the beginning, the way you help gain that confidence and that loyalty, that stickiness, is to share that you've got a process, and not to worry, you're going to guide them. And then help paint the picture of what that end result looks like. There's a lot to this, but this is kind of the main framework. If you download Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller and just read the first 30 pages, you're going to completely get what I'm saying. All right. Whew. Any questions about that so far? See, I'm chock full of information over here. All right, so I need a little bit, I'm a tiger, and so social interaction is really important to me, Joni. So I'm going to ask everyone to type in if they're right? I need everyone to type in if they're enjoying this or if they're getting something out of it or if they think
Okay.
I stink. I need that validation because I can't see their cute faces.
All right,
You let me
folks,
know what
type
they
it
say.
in. Okay, love it. Very interesting. I think it's great. Yes, it's working. Enjoying and learning. I needed this. Always enjoy
Yeah,
and learn from Jenn. Yeah, I think
yeah.
you're getting an A+ here.
Okay, that's good. All right, now moving on. I want everyone to just take a deep breath and I want you to think about a time. Think about a time when you were asked for feedback or your opinion on something. When someone said, hey, here's a Facebook ad I'm going to run. Can you take a quick look at it? Or, hey, I'm thinking about buying this vehicle over that vehicle. What's your opinion? Or, hey, I was thinking about hiring this cleaning lady or working with this accounting service. Can you provide me feedback? Think about a time when you were asked for feedback or your opinion. How did that make you feel? Did you feel bothered? Did you feel like, oh my God, they're wasting my time? Did you feel that they were, poking into your business? Anybody? How did it make you
I'm
feel?
I'm seeing sometimes bothered. Someone else says valued. I feel that they appreciate my insight. Valued. I agree
Mm-hmm.
with the valued. It makes
Mm-hmm.
you feel like it matters what you
Mm-hmm.
think to
Yep.
them.
Yep. Now, I'm not talking about and the person that said sometimes bothered. I'm not talking about a client asking you an opinion. Hey, what are your opinions over Hyatt versus Marriott? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about outside of that client relationship because you should never give away free advice, right? So I'm not proposing that. But you feel valued when somebody asks for your feedback. Think about a time when a brand celebrated you, right? So I'll give you an example. Anybody who spends any time with me knows that I love Delta. I'm a Delta girl. I've been flying Delta since 1997, way before I got into the industry. I fly them all the time because they're consistent. I know what I'm going to get. I appreciate how they handle the world and how they handle my flights. And there's consistency with my pre-departure drink when I get my free upgrade to first class. But when I always talk positively about Delta, but one day when I hit my million mile status, the whole flight crew came over, the pilot came over the intercom. Then when I got off that flight to the gate in Atlanta, they had balloons celebrating me. And months later, because we're in this industry, I just happened to be around some Delta Airlines folks and they used me in a PowerPoint presentation. How did that make me feel? Valued, seen, appreciated, cared about,
Special. Yes.
special. Well, my mother told me that for years I was special, so I've already felt that way in general. But Delta made me feel celebrated. And I can promise you, they've lost my bags, I've had misconnections, but they've been consistent where it counts. And then think about a time when you received a personalized message from somebody. How did that make you feel? I was just helping one of our advisors pitch her local media pitch, and I think I've got a webinar on that out there somewhere, Jenny. And she sent over to me the email that she was going to send. And I said, well, this won't work. They're not going to read past the first two sentences because it wasn't specific. It wasn't personalized. It was about you and the Humane Society that you were helping, which is a great message, but nobody is going to care about what you have to say until you show you care about them. So when you receive a personalized message from someone, you feel pretty special about that, right? I hate it when I get messages.
Absolutely.
We do this at TPI accidentally all the time. Hey, don't forget to register. Don't forget to register. And I'm like, I've registered already. Now as a tiger, did I register? Did I not register? What's going on? It's causing me stress. Well, if I've registered, don't send me an email that says, have you registered? So that's a personalized message. So I want you to think about that because when somebody has done one of those three things in a brand standpoint, you've got loyalty. It has nothing to do with the price. All right. Oh, gosh darn it. I keep going backwards. All right. And then finally, loyalty comes from being part of each other's story. This is something that is an innate human desire. We want to be part of somebody's story. We want others to be part of our story. So let's look at the way that you can be part of their story, and you of them of you, and you of them. So you be part of their story. Social media. In other words, when you've got a client that's traveled, or you see that they've done something really cool, maybe their son just won a marathon or whatever, post it on social media. So proud, one of my great clients, her son just won a marathon. How exciting is that? Blah, blah, blah. You're not talking about travel, but you're part of their story. Comment on their stories. Give shout outs on social media. Be part of their story with recognition in a variety of, if they own a dry cleaning or they're a hairdresser or whatever, pay it forward. Be part of their story. So proud. My hairdresser happens to, have been cutting my hair for 20 years. She just celebrated 35 years in the business. Way to go, Rachel Pearl, right? Give her recognition. You can also be part of their story through your responsiveness to them, which means that you understand their question is important. Now, I'm not saying that you need to be 7 days a week, but when you're responsive, I can't tell you the number of TPI advisors that are like, man, you must work 24 hours a day. I'm like, no, I definitely don't do that. But there are many times that I'm right in my email, and if I get a quick email that I can answer, I answer it if it's one I can answer quickly. And that means a lot to people, right? But there are days that it'll take me 3 days to get back with them, but they're okay because I was quick in the previous time. So responsiveness is important, and specificity when you're connecting. I go back to the story of Susan celebrating my birthday and Christmas and the anniversary of our home and all that through these cards. That wasn't very specific, right? Something specific would have been a picture of the house on the card that said 17 years and counting. That would have been specific. But honestly, if you can't be specific in your connections, then don't do it at all. Pick one thing that is in your brand, that speaks to your brand, that feels real and authentic to you, to be part of your clients' stories. Now, here's the part that I think a lot of advisors miss as well. Guess what? Your clients want to be part of your story. I have a whole nother webinar on how to ask for reviews and referrals. They love it when somebody says, hey, it would mean the world to me because I'm trying to build my business if you were to leave me a review on how our agency handled your most recent trip. And it can't be some stupid automation email. It's got to be specific. It's got to be personalized. And I have a whole webinar on that. I'm not going to go into that. Same thing with referrals. Share their success story. They want to be part of your success through their success. And then from time to time, update them on what's going on in your business. Today, I was talking to one of our advisors, and she was telling me she just closed a $60,000 sale, an FIT Europe trip for 7 days with this couple. And she was saying to me, so the woman said, hey, listen, do you do Japan? Because I've got a friend that's interested in going to Asia. I've got another friend that wants to do like a river cruise. And she was like asking her about it. And she said, so I told her that I would give her a free night stay at a hotel if she referred somebody to me. And I was so proud of this client who said, I don't need your free night stay. It's okay. I want to help you build your business. That's what the client said to her. Like, how crazy is that? It's not about referral bonuses. Now, some people, they do great with that, and that's how they jam, and that works. That's great. People want to be part of your success. They want to say, I knew her when I was one of her first 275 customers, whatever that is, right? When McDonald's puts up, 35 billion burgers sold, I'm like, I ate at least 2,000 of those. Thank you, McDonald's, right? Want to be part of each other's success story. Keep that in mind. And I'll tell you, I did that for Laura Lee. And again, I have another webinar on referrals and reviews, and I will, I forgot to put it in my PowerPoint, but we'll figure out a way. You can email me and I'll send you the link, or Johnny will tell you how to get to it. But when we finished with Laura Lee, I wrote her a really good review. And it wasn't, she got us the greatest price, which she did, full price cash in a week. But here's what was really valuable. And the reason why I will recommend Laura Lee over and over again, she connected with us immediately and understood the two different personalities of the couple, my personality versus my husband's personality. So here's my review. She can handle even the tough ones. And my husband's a tough cookie, not because he's mean, but because he cannot make a decision. I'm telling you, it takes him 3 weeks to a month to make a decision on whether or not he's going to call somebody to get a haircut. And then it takes another 3 weeks to a month to get in to get the haircut. But anyways, the toughest part of selling a home is the roller coaster of emotions encountered throughout the process. These emotions can be stressful on a marriage, especially when faced with polar opposite opinions when it comes to making decisions. Laura Lee came to the table fully prepared to answer all the tough questions with patience and empathy. She walked us step by step, day by day, heck, hour by hour sometimes, as we sold the house we called home for 18 years. Oh, and it sold very quickly at asking cash offer. With that review, I'm so good at doing this now, I hit the heart of the bull, the owl, the lamb, and the tiger. I also told anybody who was reading this that was a bull, an owl, a lamb, or a tiger, you can trust Laura Lee. Laura Lee hit her brand promise, but she connected and understood our different needs and how to communicate with us. As much it drove me crazy that she'd sit there for hours on end with Randy as we filled out the disclosure and it said, you gotta, reveal if there was any mold. And Randy's like, don't you remember 13 years ago we had mold in the master bath? And I'm like, yes, babe, but we rebuilt the entire master bath down to the studs. Well, we need to let them know. No, Laura Lee said you don't. It's no like. Anyways, long story short, I went out to drinks with a friend of mine. When I came back, Laura Lee was still helping Randy make that decision. That is the reason why I'll recommend Laura Lee, and we'll always use her. Okay. Let's go back to the very beginning. That was a lot of information, wasn't it?
It was good.
Foundational truths. Business longevity relies on loyalty. And hey, you know what, Joni? I just realized our second question I didn't cover in this. I just realized.
I know. I was actually going to ask you about that. So we won't worry about that. You want to come up with another one, and then you can.
Yes.
Okay.
Business longevity relies on loyalty. Loyalty is achieved through a real and ongoing connection. Real. Connection happens when you get me. That's the personality motivators. Confidence is achieved through consistency, and we need confidence in the brands, in the brand promise, as well as in the processes and how we're going to be quote unquote handled and served. Really, that's probably the better word, served. And we are motivated to be part of a story, yours and ours. People want to be part of your story. Give them the opportunity to do that through asking reviews and referrals. And again, there's a different webinar on that. Okay. How do you think we did? Joni, do we think we did good?
I think we did good. Well, I didn't do anything, but I think you did good. So I have a suggestion on the question. Why don't we just use that one question you gave me, the first one that you did give the answer to, and I can pick like the 7th and maybe the 10th correct answer, and I won't say what it is until after. Okay, that makes sense.
I love it. Okay, sounds good.
That way you don't have to come up with another one. And then I just wanted to throw this out to everybody that's listening. So the first 5 minutes of the webinar, something glitched. God love automation and technology, and the recording was not recording the first 5 minutes of Jenn's presentation. So you didn't get to hear her wonderful, well, you heard it, but when the recording comes, it won't have that, and because I can't recreate that. So I apologize, Jenn. I don't know why I did that. But
that's okay.
Nonetheless, after the first 5 minutes, it is all recorded. So folks, you will receive an email. Usually it's about an hour and a half after the webinar that will include in it all the links to all of our sites so that you can go in and find the webinars after they've been recorded. Okay. So that you'll get that email. You'll also get one again, probably another, maybe tomorrow as well, because we kind of follow them up, but not to worry. You will have all the links you need to get to that information. Jenn's done amazing webinars, and she's really good at it, as you can see. She's amazing. So
I love doing it, and guys,
is invaluable.
Yeah,
it is. It's just invaluable. It is.
Yeah, thank you. And I've got up on the screen my email address. So if anybody, just if you want some of those webinars, or you just have a quick question, just send me an email. And I'd love for you to all join our Fiercely Forward Travel Advisor Facebook group. It's not a TPI group. It's just a group for all advisors. Okay.
And I'm going to just throw this out there because you never advertise.
I never advertise.
And I love that about you. I do love that about you.
Yeah.
But folks, she works with TPI. And if you work for a company that has someone like her, You can tell that TPI is quite a company. So I'm just throwing it out. I'm advertising for her. So, okay, we'll go to the question.
Oh,
Are you
you're
ready
so
for that, Jen?
We're ready for the question. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to pick the 5th correct answer and then the 10th correct answer. And I'm not going to tell you what the answer is until after I've picked both those names. So get ready, folks. I got to clear my screen real quick here.
Clear it, because you have to ask the question. You got to ask the question because I don't have it in front of me because I'm a tiger.
No, I'm on it. I guess got to get my clear screen so I can. They'll come in so fast. These guys are so good. Okay.
I know.
All right, Tiger. Here we go. Complete this sentence. Long-term loyalty is achieved through. Okay, folks.
Yes.
Hurry.
Tight.
Okay. Got the first one. A lot of people got this right, but I got
good.
1, 2. Make me do my math. I'm not very good at doing my math. Okay. Okay, I got our winners. Okay, the answer is a real and ongoing connection. Now, some people didn't say real, but some people did. Okay, yeah. But the first person that said connection, or the 5th person that said connection, was Layla Sinclair. So Layla Sinclair, you will get a 30-minute consultation with the amazing Jenn Lee. And then the one that came up next that was actually number 10, which is amazing, and that was Danya Gant. She said real and ongoing connection. So she got that.
Way to go, right. Danya.
Yeah. So both of you ladies are winners. So congratulations to you. You get to have some special time with her because she's just amazing. And Layla says yay because she's excited that she won. Okay.
Good. So that's cool.
All right.
I'm looking forward to speaking to both.
This was awesome. This was great, Jen. And again, I apologize everybody for the glitch that will be in the recording. And Jen, my sincere apologies. I don't know what happened.
No worries.
It happens.
No worries.
But we're good. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much. And Jen, we love you. Thank you so much for doing this today. Your energy always just makes my day so good. So good. All right, Tiger. Well, saying goodbye to my Tiger and saying goodbye to all my friends on here. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Thanks, Jen.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Jenny.